Procrastination. We all do it. You have a list of things you need to get done, but instead you end up cleaning the fridge, taking a nap, or scrolling your phone for hours. And the worst part, you feel even more overwhelmed afterwards. But here's the thing. Procrastination is mostly about overthinking. And overthinking makes everything feel way more complicated than it actually is. The trick is to just start, even if it's small. Let's be real. Procrastination doesn't just delay your task, it creates stress. It leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and honestly, a bit miserable. And that stress, it makes everything feel so much bigger than it actually is. Like staring up a mountain, even the simplest task can feel impossible. So what do? We avoid the task. We distract ourselves, maybe even convince ourselves that a nap will somehow magically make things easier. But the truth is, it only makes things feel more chaotic. Overthinking everything to the point where it feels impossible to even start. As Brianna Wiest writes in the book, The Mountain Is You. You cannot ignore your problems. You cannot disregard your wounds. These are issues that you will need to unpack, process, and learn from, and adapt your behavior accordingly. This won't only make you mentally stronger, it would also give you a better quality of life overall. Now, let's talk solutions. One effective approach is the iceberg method. Think of your task as an iceberg. The big scary part is just a collection of smaller, manageable steps hiding underneath. Here's how it works. Instead of getting overwhelmed by the whole task, break it down into small pieces. For example, if you need to write a 5,000-word essay, don't think about the entire essay. Just start with the writing of a rough introduction or even just the title. Or if you need to clean your entire apartment, don't think about the whole thing. Start by just cleaning off your desk or folding some laundry. By breaking down things like this, you remove the pressure of perfection and just focus on doing small things. And the best part? Once you start, it becomes a lot more easier to keep going. The iceberg method isn't about doing everything at once. It's about making progress little by little. And guess what? That's how the big task actually gets done. Break down the task. Make a list of small, easy, manageable steps. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel organized and ready to start. Sure, you might feel unsure at first. This is completely normal. Just take that first small step. Set a time limit. Tell yourself you work for just 5 minutes. Once you start, it's easier to just keep going. You might not feel motivated right away, and that's okay. Just remember the reward is waiting. And speaking of rewards, let's talk about what keeps you going.
It's like a reward.
Maybe it's a piece of chocolate, maybe it's some sushi, or even a well-deserved gaming session. Whatever motivates you, let that be a part of your process. At the end of the day, it's about starting, taking that first step, even if it feels small or big, because every step forward is progress. Procrastination isn't just about laziness, it's mostly about overthinking. When you stop overthinking and just start acting, everything becomes much simpler. Whether it's starting with something small, setting a time limit, or motivating yourself with a reward, it all comes down to taking action. The biggest step you can take towards beating procrastination is simply getting started. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just have to begin. And once you do, you realize it was not that hard to begin with. So here's a summary how not to procrastinate. Break down your task into smaller steps, set time limits, and reward yourself, and stop overthinking and start taking action. You got this. One step at a time.